Today we're doing a 2025 makeup trend that is going to work on anyone, including us babes over 50. So, let's go. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Adrienne Keyser and I'm your over 50s fashion diva. Here on my channel we talk about fashion of course, but also beauty, lifestyle, travel, and anything trending in social media on any of those topics. So if you want to stay relevant over 50, you've come to the right place. A few things before we get started. I would like to say this is my last day of packing before I'm moving back to the US. So the outfit and the hair, it is what it is. Unfortunately, most of the things are already packed, ready to be shipped back. And so I'm left with what I've got. So I must apologize for the look for today, but that's not what it's about. We're gonna be working on the face. But before we go any further, I would like to say that if this is the type of content that you like, I do hope it encourages you to subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's get into this makeup look. Naturally on my channel, we do talk about fashion, and that is where most of the makeup looks come from for the trends of the year. So if you are a subscriber to my channel, you may have seen my live reaction videos to the spring summer 2025 fashion shows, and that is where the makeup trends will be coming from, or did come from, was mostly from the runway shows. And doing my research, I checked out Cosmopolitan and both Harper's Bazaar, and they seem to have some pretty comparable lists on what the trends are going to be, and they both agree that one of the big trends is going to be this 60s vibe. And I'm gonna put up some photos of what I'm talking about. There's several different variations on the 60s vibe, sort of updated for 2025. And today I'm gonna be working on the one that is the pastel look. The reason being is because during the holidays, I did quite a few makeup looks. Naturally, I will leave all the links to those videos in the description box for you. But within those looks were a lot of the other makeup trends for 2025. So I thought today, why not do one more? And I'm really excited to do this pastel look. I love the 60s vibe. I love the whole trend of it. Something that says spring, but for 2025. I'm all here for it. The other thing I love about this trend is the rest of the makeup is very natural, very clean girl, and that is gonna be the biggest trend. We're bringing that back from 2023, 24. The clean girl makeup trend is still gonna be going for 2025, but we're now doing lots of little additions to it to make it more updated for 2025 and a lot more fun, which is awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and dive right into the makeup. I am gonna be doing this pretty much as a speed through video. There will be points that I will stop and talk about the look a little bit, but a lot of this stuff you've seen before if you do follow me, and it's gonna be basic routine, doing my brows first, then I'm gonna do the eyes next, and that sort of thing. So I'm not gonna do too long of an explanation. I do wanna make this a relatively short video. Of course, all of the products that I use today will be up on screen, but as always, they will also be in the description box below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the brows. gonna start with the eyes first, just because I haven't quite worked out what I'm gonna do just yet, but we're gonna go through it together. And I do know that I'm gonna start off with an eye base, and because I want the eyeshadow to be very vibrant, I'm gonna start with my NYX Jumbo Pencil in 604 Milk. And I'm just gonna lay that down as an eye base. Forgot to bring my brushes over. That's fine, it's a little angle brush. I just wanted a stiff synthetic brush. Just going to grab some with my brush. Now, the trick to this look is to keep the color low on the lid, not carry it up to the crease. There isn't a crease color, no brow bone highlight, nothing. It's just a wash of color across the lid. But I do want to make sure that whatever pastel that I'm using, which is going to be a purple, just like in the photo, I do want it to be very vibrant. So that's why I'm gonna lay down the Jumbo Pencil. I'm just gonna spread that out. And once I get this all spread out, I'll be right back and decide which of the many eyeshadow palettes I have that I'm going to use for this look. So I'll be right back. I have the Jumbo Pencil laid down exactly the way I want it. Now I'm gonna go in with a Q-tip and very lightly on the top. Oh, by the way, I wanted it right up to my brow bone, so I made sure that I was right into the crease. That's where I ended. The color was right in my bone area, my crease bone. And now I'm gonna go in very lightly just on the edge and just feather the very top to kind of blend it. You can also use your finger. Just tap it lightly. Just to blend that edge out. Because when I open my eye, I don't want it any higher. And if it does look like it's going a little high, just get a Q-tip and bring it back down. You don't want anything in the crease at all. It's all gonna be just low, low, low. Like that. Also clean up that outer corner edge. All right, now we're ready for the shadow. And I do have 3 different palettes. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna use. When I originally came up with the idea of this look, I was thinking of this Juvia's Place palette. This is the Violets by Juvia's. And I knew there was a really light purple in here. I was thinking about going in with this really light violet color here, but I think it may be a little too dark. So then I grabbed this one. This is a NYX The Ultimate palette, and I thought maybe this color might work. This shade here. I think this might be the one that I want to go with. We'll see, because I also have this Inglot palette that I got at Makeup Show in New York years ago, and it also has this really pale purple here, but it also has varying shades of purple. So let me start with, I'll start with the Inglot palette because that one's the lightest, and if it needs to be a little bit darker, then I'll go in with the NYX palette, I think. I do want a pretty densely packed brush. Just going to tap out any creasing And I have this little Morphe brush. And it's actually the perfect size because that, trying to get that one little color is a challenge, but this little brush is working perfectly. Now I'm just gonna pack it on, see where we are. Okay. Now because of the jumbo pencil, it will take several coats. And you also want to flip your brush because that jumbo pencil, you don't want to get that into your eyeshadow. So I flip the brush around. And that second one will set it a lot better. Let's see where we are. All right. Now I'm going to wipe my brush down a little bit because I don't want that jumbo pencil to get back into my eyeshadow. So I'm gonna just use a makeup wipe, wipe it down a little bit, then dry it off with the back of my hand. Then let's see, with another layer where we are. I think it may be a little too light. I want it light, but I want you to be able to see it. Now this is only the third coat, but I think we kind of have to go with it now. I think I will go back in with the NYX one to darken it up, but better to go light first because you can't take it back if it's too dark. You'd have to just start all over. But I do like where it is so far. Very subtle. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this eye because even though I am gonna go in with the NYX color and make it darker, you have to do to the other eye what you did to the first eye, otherwise it will never match up. So I'm gonna do this other eye off camera using the Inglot palette and be right back once I get to the NYX. That's all we're gonna do on the eyes for now. Next up, I'm gonna start on the face. As I said at the top of the video, this is gonna be that clean girl makeup. And for 2025, that is such a big trend. So it's time to put away those full coverage foundations, ladies, and start doing something a little lighter on the face so that the skin is more exposed. You can sort of see, I don't know if you can tell, but I do have quite a few freckles on my face and it doesn't bother me, I don't mind that, but those are the kinds of things that you want to sort of shine through on the skin. That being said, I'm not going to do a primer. I'm actually going to go in with my Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Tint. The reason I'm using this is because it's not only a light coverage foundation, but it's also a serum. And I like applying this with my hands, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the rest of the face as a speed through so that we can get back to the eyes and the glamour of it all. This is what the skin is looking like, nice and glowy. And what I love about that Danessa Myricks is it is a serum, so it's doing good things for the skin. That's why I didn't do a primer underneath of it, because I want all the good benefits from the serum to be right directly on the skin. And it is looking very glowy, very dewy, and it's perfect. Now for concealer, I am going to go in with, as soon as I pick it up off the floor, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty Concealer. The reason is because this is very close to my skin tone, and I don't want to make a light, bright under eye for this particular look. It may be slightly lighter. Also, when I did my serum, my skin tint, I put it right up underneath the eye. So that is a really good way to make sure that you're not using too much concealer, is to put your foundation right up under there, because you really only just want to correct what the foundation didn't. So I'm really just gonna put a dot here and here, and I'm gonna let that dry down just a little bit before I buff it in with a brush. Let's see, I want a nice big fluffy brush. This is a good one, an angle brush, no name. All right, it's been a couple of seconds, and I'm just going to just dab it there to lighten any darkness, but in a very sheer way. Just like that. I'm not going down the nose. I'm not doing any other highlight. If you have to do some correction on the face, if you've got some redness or something like that, you can use a little bit of your concealer with your foundation if you need a bit more coverage in certain areas. But you want to do this as thin and sheer as possible, just like that. Blend it up, and that's gonna do it for the concealer. Again, this is a clean girl makeup. You don't want a bunch of product on the face. The eyes are gonna be the star of the show. I seem to be saying that a lot lately. It seems like that's going to be a really big trend, is if you want to pump up the volume, do something fun with the eyes. Liners, all kinds of different techniques on the eyes are gonna be the trend for 2025. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and powder everything. I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r powder, and this is in the shade Cashew. Also very close to my skin tone. I am going to be adding the smallest amount of powder to the face, and it's really just to sort of set things in place. Oh, actually, before I do, let me go in with my Nye. If you see my other videos, you know I have my Nye Setting Spray in this Mario Badescu bottle. So let me go ahead and spray the face. This is the best setting spray on the market, but make sure that you keep your eyes closed while it's drying. I have my fan around here somewhere. And then I'm gonna go in with the smallest amount. I'm knocking everything off. I'm knocking everything off because I want that glowy dewiness to still come through the skin. Also that Mario Badescu, The Nye Setting Spray also has a little bit of a glow to it. So it will also leave a bit of a glow to the skin. And that's exactly what we want. Now I may add a highlighter, but we'll see. And that's it. I always take powder over my brows just to double set. And then you can also go over the shadow as well. Then I just take whatever's left. No additional powder, which I barely had any on the brush to begin with, and go under the eye. All right. Everything is set, but see how it's still glowy on the face, and that's exactly what I want. Now I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the eyes. And if you take a look in the reference photo that I've been sort of working off of, you'll notice that the makeup artist chose not to do any mascara at all, but that's where I'm going to put my own spin on it, and I am gonna add mascara. But I'm going to do it with a slight twist where I'm going to focus more on the bottom lashes, you know, that kind of 60s style, clumpy bottom lash, but updated for 2025. I am gonna do one coat on the top. I'm gonna be using my Sephora Lashcraft Big Volume Mascara. And I am gonna curl the lashes on top. But just a little bit. Not a full on crimp, but enough for them to stand up slightly. I'm really just sort of going at the base and crimping out to the tips. One trick that I always do with mascara as a makeup artist, something that I learned very early in my career, is your eyelashes actually are tapered. So that means that the ends of your lashes are much thinner than they are at the root. So I always go in first and do a coat of mascara on the tips of my lashes. Then I do the other side, and by the time that side is done, then I start to do from root to tip. That way it has that sort of layer of mascara on the tips first, but I'm not gonna do that today. Today I'm just going to go in and just go from the base. I'm even gonna take some of the mascara off the brush. There's a lot of product on this brush. I'm just gonna go in and do straight from the root to the tip. One light coat, and that's it. You can barely see it, and that's exactly what I want. I didn't want to add any extra to the tip because that would have made it much too thick. But now we're gonna go in and I'm gonna do the bottom lashes and really get maybe 3 coats, we'll see. But I am gonna do it as a speed through so that you don't have to sit there and watch me do this 3 coats of mascara. Because I'll probably have to wait in between the coats for them to dry down a little bit to do the next layer that will create the thickness that I'm looking for. All right, now listen, I did not plan out this look, so I'm hoping that it's gonna come out. I hope it's gonna come out looking amazing because I really just had this thought in my head of what I wanted to do, so fingers crossed that this is gonna work. All right, all right. I'm gonna do a few more coats, but I need to let the ones that I have on dry down first because I wanna do a little bit of cleanup as well. So while they are drying, I'm gonna move on to the face. And for that, I'm doing the lightest blush on the face just to bring a little bit of color to the face. Very subtle blush. And for that, I'm gonna go in with my LA Colors blush. This is Color and Contour palette. And I'm going to go in with this really pale pink blush. I was thinking about going with the purple, but I thought that would be too much. So just the slightest hint. You barely want to see it, but just enough to have some color to the face. I always go across my nose. That's just my personal preference. That's up to you if you want to do that. Just like that, barely there. I am going to do a little hint of highlight, the smallest hint. And this broken palette, this broken highlight is by Pics. It is a Hello Kitty collab. So devastated that I got it. When I got it, it was broken. But it still works. And I'm gonna use a super duper fluffy brush and just the smallest little bit of highlight. Let's not do it on that. Just here at the top of the cheek. Just a little hint. What I love about this highlight is not only is it subtle, but it has a little bit of a pink shimmer to it. Just ever so subtle of a highlight. You almost don't need it. And then I'm going to blend all that down. Just like that. And we're there. Now I'm gonna take some Q-tips and clean up underneath the lashes. If any got on the skin, I wanna clean that up. Once you clean up the skin, that will really help the lashes to pop a lot more. In order for me to get to the bases of my lashes, I did have to go in my Maybelline Great Lash. I'm gonna keep putting on layers of mascara and cleaning up underneath until I get it to the thickness that I want. And I'll be right back. We'll finish the lip and we'll wrap up this video. Off camera, I've been experimenting what I wanted to do with the lip. I also cleaned up underneath the eye, and this is where we are landing with the look so far. But the lip, I added in this Essence Stay 8 lip liner. And of course, I will put the shade up for you. And then I'm just gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm, I believe it's called. Of course, I'll put the name up for that as well. This is what it looks like. It's gorgeous. Just going to add a little bit of that to the lip. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. That shimmer, that shine going to the lip. I'm gonna finish with some setting spray. And call this look done. I am loving the way this came out. Absolutely loving this trend. I definitely will be rocking this come spring, summer, but also perfect for the winter time. It's just that wash of purple on the face and then everything else just looking natural, shiny, glowy, healthy, gorgeous. Yeah. And that's gonna do it for today's video, you guys. I again love the way that this look came out. I definitely want to be rocking this look a bunch in 2025. It was so easy to recreate. If I wasn't doing this on video, I probably could have gotten this face done in under 20 minutes. And yeah, I just love the way it looks. It's just so natural with that little flush of lilac across the eyes. I just love it. I'm sorry, I know I keep looking in my monitor instead of right at the camera, but yeah, I just really, really love it. It was super easy to create. You can go in and do lashes on top, not false lashes, but more mascara on top if you like, as opposed to doing all of the mascara on the bottom. Totally up to you. Make it your own, make it interesting, make it easy, but most importantly, make it fun. I just checked out my face in my bathroom mirror and my skin just looks so healthy and glowy and dewy and gorgeous. And this is a 55-year-old face. But look at how good it looks. Man, this clean girl skin is gonna be hitting for 2025. So thank you all so much for watching. This will be the last makeup look that I create before I move back to the States. I've got to pack up my makeup today and get it all ready for shipping. So I won't be able to create any more fun looks for a little bit. But once I get my items back into the States and I'm all settled in, I will definitely be back to show you guys some more 2025 makeup trends that will work for anybody, including us babes over 50. So if you enjoyed the video and you made it all the way to the end, I do hope it encourages you to subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. And until next time, stay fashionable. Bye. As soon as I pick it up off the floor.